Hi all, welcome to educators.com. I'm Harish, software engineer. I'll be teaching you the JavaScript. So let's begin the session. In this session, we will learn about what is JavaScript all about and what is the need for JavaScript and what is DOM, history of JavaScript like who developed it and what is the standard for JavaScript and what are the things you need to know before using JavaScript, its advantages and why you need to learn JavaScript, and finally, what are the tools you need to run JavaScript. So by end of this session, you should be able to understand what JavaScript is all about and why you need to use JavaScript. So let's begin. Why we need JavaScript? In the earlier days, web pages were served in pure plain text. So whatever content was presented, it was in plain text, similar to how we write in Notepad, etc. As the web is growing, there was a demand to show the text in different formats, where the user can differentiate the content like headers, subheaders, highlighting the text, paragraphs, etc. So to satisfy this demand, HTML has come into picture. Now, with the help of HTML, we were able to format the content in different ways. But even though with the HTML, we were able to serve only static web pages. This all looks good unless and until there was a requirement to have dynamic to the web pages, where we can add dynamic behavior. To satisfy the above requirement, JavaScript has come into picture. So coming to what is JavaScript and all about. JavaScript is a scripting language. Scripting language is the one which is used to have a control over one or more applications. We write these instructions where it will be executed by the runtime environment. In the similar way, browser is one of runtime environment where it will execute the instructions written in JavaScript. So that is the reason JavaScript is a scripting language. JavaScript will hide the details of the computer at a very high level as compared to machine level or server-side programming languages. So that is reason we call it as high level programming language. As JavaScript has a lightweight API and as it is easy to learn and use, we call it as a lightweight programming language. And more important thing, it resembles Java as it is used to modify, remove and add nodes to the DOM, which is like adding dynamic behavior to the web pages. It also can be used to extend the objects, execute the code at runtime, etc. So that's why JavaScript is also called a dynamic programming language. In the server-side programming languages, we need to compile the program files into some intermediate language and then to the machine code. Whereas coming to JavaScript, we can directly execute into machine code. So that's why JavaScript is also an interpreted programming language. So what is DOM all about? It is a cross-platform and language-independent API that treats an HTML as a tree structure, wherein each node is an object representing a part of the document. So let's understand this in detail. When the user types a URL in the browser makes a request to the server. The server, on receiving the request, it understands it and sends back the required response, which is basically HTML. As browser understands HTML, when it reads the HTML, it creates an object for each node in a hierarchy way, creating a DOM tree. As let's say we have a body tag, which has a div tag as child, and paragraph tag, which is the child of div tag. So as the browser reads from top to bottom, it first creates the object for body tag, and then an object for div tag, which is a child object for body object. So in this way, the browser goes on creating the nested objects, forming a DOM tree. So after creation of DOM tree, the browser creates a view which is in sync with the DOM tree. So DOM API can be used to modify the DOM tree, like adding, modifying, and removing the DOM nodes. So as we make changes to the DOM tree, those changes will be reflected back in the view. You can check this in the following image. In this, the browser reads HTML and creates a DOM tree. As here, you can see that HTML is a top root tag, which has the child object's head and body, in turn, in which the head object has three more child objects. So this goes on in this way. Coming to history of JavaScript. JavaScript is developed by Brendan Eich with the goal of embedding into its Netscape Navigator, which was also a browser. He wanted to develop the language which resembled Java and be easy for beginners to use. Initially, it was developed under the name Mocha, changed it to LiveScript later, but ultimately became JavaScript. One important thing which you need to know that JavaScript is totally different from Java. ECMAScript is a standard for JavaScript which came after JavaScript. They all wanted this standard because those who claim that JavaScript runs on their browser should follow the specifications. As to run JavaScript, we need JavaScript engines, and SpiderMonkey is the first JavaScript engine developed under C++. So before we start using JavaScript, you should know about how to write a code because there are most of the features like loops, functions, variables, etc., which are almost same in JavaScript. So if you start using JavaScript without having knowledge on how to code, it will be very difficult to understand. Apart from coding, you also need to have a basic understanding of HTML and CSS, as JavaScript main functionality is to modify the DOM, which is all about the tags. You should at least know about some basic tags and how to apply the styles around those HTML tags. So what are the advantages of JavaScript? First thing, it is very fast because we no need to contract for server and wait for response. Second, it is simple to learn and use from day one itself. Third, as the code is being executed at the user end, it reduces the demand on server, apart from fetching data, submitting forms, etc. Fourth and most important, it is supported in all the modern web browsers, including IE and mobile. Till now, we have learned about what is JavaScript, history, and its uses. So now, let's know about why you need to learn JavaScript. As JavaScript is developed for client-side web development, we can build rich client-side web applications. And the most important thing, browser is the one through which we can reach more number of users. So to reach more number of user audience, we need to develop rich client web applications. So to develop these applications, we need JavaScript. We can build web applications using native JavaScript or any other frameworks or libraries or plugins which are built on top of JavaScript like AngularJS, jQuery, React, Backbone, etc. Nowadays, we can also develop server-side applications in JavaScript using frameworks like Node.js. If you understand JavaScript properly, it will be very easy for you to understand these frameworks and use them in a short amount of time. We can also build mobile applications, desktop applications, and browser extensions also. So what are the tools we need to run JavaScript? First thing, you need to install a browser where we can execute JavaScript like Mozilla, Chrome, etc. These all browsers have built-in JavaScript engines like Chrome uses V8 and Mozilla uses SpiderMonkey and Safari uses Nitro. You need some editor where you can write the code, as you can download any editors like Notepad++, Brackets.io, etc. That's all from this session. Thank you.